Here are summaries of what is known so far about recent Indian and Brazilian airline plane crashes, including the major Air India incident in a Brazil crash involving illicit cargo. If you want more details, technical, regulatory, etc., I can pull those together too. Indian Airline/Air India crash, Flight AI-171 June 12, 2025. What happened? Air India Flight 171, a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner registration BTN, took off from Ahmedabad, India, bound for London Gatwick. About 30 seconds after takeoff, the aircraft crashed into a medical college hostel in a residential area. There was a large fire and destruction to buildings on the ground. Casualties on board: 240 people, 230 passengers plus 12 crew. Survivors: only one passenger survived. On the ground, 19 people killed, 67 injured. Total fatalities, about 260 including on board plus ground. Cause preliminary findings, the Indian Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau AAIB released a preliminary report saying both engines lost thrust because their fuel control switches were found to have moved from the run to cut-off position shortly after takeoff. It is not yet determined how or why those switches moved. The report says one pilot asked the other why did he cut off fuel and the other said he did not do so. A mayday call was made. Other relevant details: this is the first fatal accident and whole loss involving a Boeing 787 since the model entered service. The crash has prompted inspections of other 787s in the Indian fleet. There is a lawsuit by families of some victims against Boeing and Honeywell, alleging a design fault relating to fuel switches. Brazil, plane crash involving drugs, September 2025. What happened? On September 14, 2025, a single-engine small aircraft crashed in a sugarcane field in Curitiba, Alagoas State, Brazil. The only occupant, the pilot, was killed. He has been identified in reports as an Australian, Timothy James Clark. Cargo: illicit angle, around 180 to 195 kilograms of cocaine, 397.30 pounds was found in the wreckage. The cocaine was packaged in fake Spasix branded wrappers, i.e. the packaging bore the logo of Spasix, which appears to be a ruse. The aircraft was registered to Zambia but had operated in Brazil for at least 2 years. Authorities noted the presence of extra fuel tanks, which suggests the plane might have been intended for long-distance flight. Investigation status: the crash is under investigation by Brazilian authorities. It's still unclear where the plane departed from, its intended destination, who owned all the illicit cargo, etc. If you like, I can also pull up the very latest updates, investigations, official reports, and compare causes, safety implications between these. Would you prefer that?